Legendia in Poland is one of the strangest, but also one of the most well-known amusement parks anywhere in the world, probably thanks to its close proximity to one of the biggest amusement parks anywhere in the world in Poland, Energylandia. Now, they have a standout coaster in Lech Coaster, and since this was built in the 2017 season, they have managed to attract enthusiasts from across the world to come and visit this park. Now, Legendia, for anyone who's been before, knows this is a very small amusement park. It's not got much money in at all. So why do enthusiasts from across the world flock over to this park? Well, the answer is simply Lech Coaster. Now, I believe this is one of the smartest moves a theme park chain has made in a long term in terms of a new coaster addition. So stick around to find out why adding Lech Coaster to Legendia is probably the best thing that the park could ever have done in terms of improving the park. Welcome to Coasternaut, and if you enjoy the video, please do give it a like and subscribe for future updates and videos on European and US theme parks and roller coasters in the future. Now, as I said, Legendia is a very small amusement park, and it is only located about an hour away from Energylandia. Energylandia, for anyone that doesn't know, is one of the biggest amusement parks anywhere in the world. It's currently got 17 operating roller coasters, with 3 more in the pipeline to be built, which will take the total up to 20, which will match it with Six Flags Magic Mountain as having the most operating roller coasters at any park in the world. Enthusiasts from across the world travel to Energylandia every year. It's only been open for 10 years, this park, but it is rapidly expanding and has fantastic coasters such as the RMC Hyper Hybrid Coaster Zadra, the Intamin Hyper Coaster, Hyperion, and a fantastic collection of a new wave of vekoma coasters including Abyssus and Formula. Now, like I say, this fantastic park, Energylandia, is only an hour away from Legendia, so many people, when choosing to do a road trip of theme parks across Europe, will stop off at Legendia when they come to Energylandia. Now, there is only 2 other coasters at the park other than the aforementioned Lech Coaster, and that is Devil's Loop and Dream Hunter Society. Dream Hunter Society is a Zyklon Galaxy coaster, so that sort of shows you the coasters we're working with at a park like this. It is not great at all. And Devil's Loop is made by the Russian manufacturer Soke, and is almost a Schwarzkopf double loop ripoff. The first drop on Devil's Loop is almost like a ramp. There's no forces to it at all. It's a very sort of slow, gradual, twisted turn. The inversions are quite good, I'll give it that. But after that you have a very slow helix, which brings you back into the station. So it's a very short, pretty pointless coaster. It's not stand out at all. And when you are talking about your 2 other coasters in the park being a Russian Schwarzkopf ripoff and a Zyklon Galaxy coaster, you can see here the kind of coasters that Legendia had prior to Lech Coaster were not the best at all. Now, Energylandia has been open since 2014 and has been on this wave of rapid expansion since then, adding new coasters every year, multiple new coasters every year. So since 2014, I would imagine, or maybe a bit later than 2015, 2016, Legendia will have known how close proximity this park was, how many new coasters it's constantly adding, and how many tourists, not just across Poland and Europe, but from around the world, Energylandia is bringing in. And they decided that they wanted a piece of that pie and wanted to gain a bit of extra money and popularity from almost benefiting off the success of Energylandia. And I think that's why adding Lech Coaster is the smartest thing they could have done. Now, Lech Coaster is a 2017 new wave vekoma Bermuda blitz coaster. It has a beyond vertical twisting drop. It includes 3 inversions, a top speed of 59 miles per hour, and 2,979 feet of track. This is one of the most intense coasters out there, not just at vekoma, but in the world. This is a very intense coaster. That first inversion especially, I think after that first drop, most people sort of grey out on there. It's really intense, that first inversion, that reverse sidewinder. There are 2 corkscrews that are taken later on throughout the ride. One of them is a bit gradual, the one towards the end of the ride, but one of them that goes through the station, absolutely fantastic. Really sort of whips you through that, really greys out moment. This coaster has some of the strongest airtime in the world on any coaster, in my opinion. The airtime on this ride is absolutely fantastic. Really whippy, intense transitions, and none of the other park has theming, really, or good quality theming. But the station building and the area around Lech Coaster is actually really well themed, and I think this is possibly the smartest addition they could have made. Now, why is that? I think the reason for that is because they know people that are coming to Energylandia aren't necessarily just people that are thinking, oh, let's go to my local theme park. They know it's bringing in enthusiasts from across the world, and they know if they can therefore build an attraction which appeals to those enthusiasts from across the world, they are more likely to stop in at Legendia when they go and visit Energylandia, because it's only an hour or so drive away. Now, like I say, when you put in a new wave vekoma coaster, which still aren't too many of in the world and people want to ride, and it is also one of the most intense coasters in the world, has a fantastic first drop, some of the most intense airtime, people are going to want to come here just to ride that ride. And that is what a lot of people do. On my visit to Legendia, I maybe spent an hour walking around doing some of the other attractions, which, some very old sort of carnival sort of flat rides, those two aforementioned sort of rubbishy coasters. But then other than that, all I was doing was absolutely marathoning Legendia. I went on a weekday in the autumn period, and this park was completely dead. I was able to just stay in my seat and absolutely marathon Lech Coaster. And I think that they know what they're doing. They're appealing to enthusiasts, and I think most people since adding Lech Coaster have said, oh, when is Legendia going to build more coasters? I don't think they ever will, personally. Correct me if I'm wrong down below if anyone thinks differently, but I really don't think they will. I think they've got their standout enthusiast coaster now, so that now, whenever someone comes to Energylandia, even if you've been to Energylandia before, anytime you plan a visit to that park, or most people, I think, will come to Legendia just to get some re-rides in on Lech Coaster, because it is a truly fantastic, elite, world-class coaster, and I think that's all they need. They know they're an hour away from Energylandia, and any enthusiast, really, that's not from the local area, will most likely make a stop off at Legendia. So anyone that's going to Energylandia is also going to Legendia. Their popularity must have absolutely skyrocketed since this coaster was built, and with the more and more success of Energylandia, I think this park will just get more and more successful as well. Maybe we'll see a new coaster addition in the future onto the same level as Lech Coaster, or just other additions to the park in terms of other rides. They do have a fantastic dark ride here, actually, a trackless dark ride. I don't know why, but it seems really out of place once again compared to the rest of the standard of attractions in the park. But maybe with this growing success of Energylandia, the popularity that that park has, more and more enthusiasts will come and visit Legendia as well. And maybe we will see some further big additions in the future. I personally can't see it, but maybe we will. But as I've said, I think the addition of Lech Coaster is the perfect move for the park. They know it's going to tailor to enthusiasts. They know that people are going to travel from across the world to visit Energylandia, know that Lech Coaster is just an hour away, and make a quick stop off at Legendia to ride Lech Coaster a few times before heading off on their travels to go and visit further amusement parks or theme parks. But what do you think? Have you visited Legendia? What do you think of the park? Do you go there just to visit Lech Coaster, or do you actually like some of the other attractions at the park? I'd love to know down below. If you've not visited Legendia, would you go there just to ride Lech Coaster, or is this something you'd skip if you were making a theme park road trip through Europe? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback down below. Thank you very much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please do give it a like, it massively helps out the channel, and subscribe for future videos. Thank you very much for watching.